Good morning, everyone. Thank you to this voting hearing at the Committee of Transportation. This is something that we've been waiting for a long period of time. Since chairing this Committee of Transportation, we've been addressing the abuse of placard in the city of New York. Together with many of our colleagues here, we've been addressing this issue. But the time arrives today, the time when, with the leadership of Speaker Johnson and the college here, we will be voting today on something that is so important to all New Yorkers, but especially to pedestrians and cyclists. Today we'll be voting on 9 bills relating to city-issued parking permits, otherwise known as placards. Placard abuse is corruption. It is misusing a city resources for personal benefit. It is city employees parking wherever they want while attending for personal matter, under the false premise that they are doing necessary business for the city. Often this means parking in crosswalks, bike lanes, bus lanes, or even on sidewalks, forcing other road users into dangerous situations and slowing down all of our commutes. For too long, this problem was ignored by the city, but these bills, thanks to the leadership of all the colleagues here and Speaker Johnson, will provide a way to rethink the entire placard system. They address how placards are issued, for what reason, and by what agency. They deal with enforcements for placard misuse, and perhaps most importantly, they require much more data to be made public so that we have better insight into how the system is working and can continue to adjust and improve it all over time. I'm a sponsor of the first bill, Intro 314-8. This bill will require the police department to issue reports every 6 months for the next 4 years on the misuse of citywide parking permits. The report will include information on the number of summonses issued by the police department in relation to the placard misuse and the reason for the summons. This will give us better insight into police department enforcement efforts, the lack of which is an integral part of placard abuse, and will allow this committee, the City Council, and the public to hold the police department accountable in addressing this problem. The second bill, Intro 596-B, is sponsored by Public Advocate Giovanni Williams. This bill will increase the penalty for unauthorized or fraudulent placard use from $250 to $500. The third bill, sponsored by the Speaker, is Intro 927-A. It will require the police department to create a centralized electronic tracking system for all city-issued parking permits so that police officers and traffic enforcement agents can determine in real time whether the permit is real and valid. We have other bills. I'm not going to be reading the rest of them for the purpose of the time of my colleague. But all of them are a package of bills that address the abuse of the placard. So with that, I would like to, Councilmember Cook, you have something to say? Okay.
Thank you, Chair. Parker abuse is a growing problem on our city streets, in which many now believe that parkers are a right they are entitled to, rather than a privilege to be used under very specific circumstances. Parker abuse not only clogs our streets with illegally parked vehicles, it also creates resentment and distrust for those authorities allowed to use the parkers. My bill is Intro 942-A. This legislation looks to develop a comprehensive plan regarding the distributions and use of city-issued parking permits. Importantly, this bill will also publish this plan so that we can bring more transparency and accountability to the parking parker system. We want to curb the parker abuse, give our streets back to the public, and restore the public trust in those who actually leave parking parkers to serve the city of New York. Thank you.
Ahora votaremos 9 bills que buscan asegurarse que el uso de las placas sean correctos, que no se abuse de ellas, que los que la tengan solamente lo usen en los lugares apropiados, que no se usen para bloquear pompas de agua, estaciones de autobuses y la acera donde la persona camina. Thank you. I now call for a vote on proposed intro 314-A, 596-B, 927-A, 932-A, 942-A, 1393-A, 1394-A, 1395-A, 1422-A. I recommend a yes vote, and I ask the committee clerk to please call the roll.
William Martin, Committee Clerk, roll call vote, Committee on Transportation. All items are coupled. Chair Rodriguez.
Aye.
Cohen.
Congratulations to the chair. Thank you for your leadership. I vote aye.
Deutsch.
Don't speak? Okay. Permission to explain my vote? Okay. So first, I'd like to sign on to all the bills as a co-sponsor, except for 1394A. And 1394A is the local law to amend the administrative code in the City of New York in relation to city vehicles obstructing a bicycle lane, bus lane, sidewalk, crosswalk, or fire hydrant. Now, the one who's going to enforce this will be Traffic Department and TEA, or Traffic Department. And in my district, and I've seen it all across the city, where Traffic Department has been one of the most, one of the biggest violators when it comes to blocking bike lanes and sitting at fire hydrants and bus lanes. So we don't have anyone to have that oversight on TEA or Traffic Department when they stop to issue someone a summons and they double park and park at hydrants and park at bus stops. So with that being said, I vote no on 1394A, and I vote aye in the rest. Thank you.
Espinal.
I vote aye.
Koo.
Aye.
Levine.
Aye.
Menchaca.
Aye.
Reynoso. Richards.
Aye.
By a vote of 9 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and no abstentions, all items are adopted by the committee, with introduction number 1394A being adopted by the committee, 8 in the affirmative, 1 in the negative, and no abstentions.
I would like also to invite my colleague to join us at 12 noon, as we're going to be holding a press conference together with Councilmember Kalina Rivera, as we will be introducing the bills that will create the bicycle and pedestrian department in the city of New York, a bill that we are introducing today, and we're hoping to have a hearing in December. So we feel that with the transportation master plan, with the package of bills that we voted today, we will make the city more pro-pedestrian and cyclists. And now, with the 2 bills that we are introducing today, creating the departments of cyclists and pedestrian, we want to make our city the more pedestrian and cyclist friendly in the whole nation. With that, this hearing is adjourned.